Right. So from a female perspective, what would you tell a woman who is going to team drive with her husband? What would you tell her to expect, or what would you tell her, hey, you know what? This is coming from a woman of wisdom, because you do have wisdom in this department because you're
Right.
actually doing it. So what advice would you give a female?
First, you have to understand your husband a lot, and I hope that your husband, saying.
Mhm.
So I think one thing that I need to make sure is, if you want to team with your husband, you want to make sure you have a good relationship. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Um, you don't fight a lot, of course, because
Right.
it's hard to be in a tiny space. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because you can just tell, when you get temper. Some is temper. Sometimes I do. So you can just say like, hey, I want to just leave me in this corner. I want to cool down. You cannot say that. So you gotta have that loving connection. You know what I'm saying? And you know, is there anything I need to advise more?
Yes, she say like through the years we've seen like what she's saying is like I've seen people that have been married 30 years and they start teaming together and they're divorced a year down the road.
Mm.
And what she's saying is you if you really want to team with your partner, your
You need to like
girlfriend,
that
your
person.
fiance, um, if there's certain relationships where people argue a lot or fight a lot,
Right.
if they're that type of relationship, you
Relationship.
probably don't want to team drive
Mm.
in trucking because it'll take a really good relationship and tear it apart because you're in a confined area, you're in a small area for a long period of time. There are stresses. There's times
Yes.
where things don't go as good. You don't make as much. You make less. You're stuck somewhere. There is a lot of stress you get from
Yep.
drivers on the road, and if you have a really good relationship, that's the main thing. If you want to be
Right.
teams, and then uh,
I want to add something to. I want to add something also. If you're gonna team with your husband and you are owner operator, so owner operator, I think you get a chance which load you're gonna take, and I'm saying you have more you have a lot of time basically. You know what I'm saying? So, or in my opinion, I think you should treat your husband like, what, why don't we stop here? Let's get a nice dinner. Let's have a little date. You know what I'm saying? Have a little life while
we
you're on the road. Which that's what I do, because sometimes I not sometimes, most of the time I save my dinner. I'm like, I know I have time to stop right now, but what I do, I just wait until my husband get his sleep, and then that's when I stop and we have a nice dinner together. Because if you're a team driver, obviously one drives and one goes to sleep. So what you do, which I'm the one that adjusts, and I wait until he's up, and then we have this little,
we used to have date nights on
date
Thursday.
night,
We would go out. We would try to get ahead of our loads, get ahead of ourselves, so we had time. We would stop on Thursdays and
which is fun,
we'd bring some
doing that.
dress clothes with us and dress up a little bit and go have a
Have a
dinner. And you got to try to do stuff like that. We did get a picnic basket this year. We were going to try to stop and do like a little picnic at the park, but
Yes.
we have our job is we haul overnight freight. It's
Okay.
guaranteed on time or it's free. So
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like a FedEx or a UPS, and people that run that, if they run regular over the road stuff and they run UPS or FedEx, they know that there's no time on that
Right.
freight. Like you barely have time to do anything, and that's what we do. We leave
Right.
Monday at noon, and our truck don't stop until Saturday at 10 o'clock. That's when it stops for more than a half hour within that whole time. When
Right.
we stop, it's for 15 minutes to drop a trailer, to pick up a trailer, to put fuel in, and we're going. So we used to be owner operator. We
That's
ran
more
reefer. We hauled meat and orange juice. And on those loads, you have a lot of time.
right.
We would stop
You
at
can get
malls and
movies, watch
go
movies.
shopping. We had our golf clubs
Right.
with us. We'd go
Yeah.
golfing, and you have time to do that on that type of freight. But what we do right now, it's really tough. And we've been going on 3 years together, and Mama's starting to get snippy. She's starting to get snippy a little bit with some things because we don't have, we'll do things sometimes we'll cut out dinner, or we won't shower that day to catch up, to have time the next day.
Right.
And they'll see that we're caught up, and then they'll give us something else to put us back behind. So the sacrifices we did to try to catch up,
So we have that
to
little
do
day.
something the next day, they'll take it away from us by doing something else. And when they do that, man, Mama, she don't get.
I was like, they're taking my little daytime here.
She gets
My cuddle
she
time.
gets snippy, and I'm the only one there to take
You're
it.
the other one.
Dish it out.